Hello and welcome back to Football Fever. This is week 18. We'll be talking about week 18 games, the last week of the season, and we'll be giving predictions for the wild card next week. We will also be talking about all of the recent head coach firings that have happened and a little bit of insight into the MVP race and possible draft position. As always, I'm Arav,
And I'm back.
and let's get straight into the first game. Chiefs at Broncos. Um, Obviously, Vic Fangio got fired after this game, after this loss. The Broncos played pretty well, in my opinion. I mean, Melvin Gordon, 12 carries, 110 yards. He's set to become a free agent this offseason. And I mean, I don't think the Broncos are going to re-sign him. I mean, they obviously have promising rookie Javonte Williams. Um, I see him maybe re-signing with, I don't even know, but he's going to get a good deal this offseason after a pretty good season with the Broncos, a 1,000-yard rusher, had a really good year. The Chiefs, I mean, this was kind of this was a close game, kind of a close game. I mean, if Nick Bolton didn't recover that fumble by Drew Lock for that touchdown, I mean, they probably would have lost.
Hmm.
I mean, it was kind of close, too close for comfort, in my opinion. But I mean, if you're the Chiefs, you're 12-5. You've got the second seed. You're facing the Steelers in the playoffs. I mean, hopefully you don't choke to the Steelers, but for the most part, you've most likely got a first round. You're going to win the first round, facing arguably the worst team in the playoffs right now. I mean, not too much to be angry about, I guess. Securing that second seed.
Hmm. With the Broncos, you said that they might not re-sign Melvin Gordon. Um, I think they like that, like 1-2 punch they have, kind of like the Browns with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and like
Maybe, but I think that if they
really
did
interesting.
re-sign Melvin Gordon, then Melvin Gordon would be the running back one, or he would be the clear choice for running back one. But
Hmm.
I mean, if you want to develop Javonte Williams, I mean, he's gonna have to be running back one, but you don't want to give a massive contract to Melvin Gordon. I just don't think he's gonna resign. I think the Broncos might pick up another. I don't know who all the free agent running backs are, but I could see them picking up another. I think Tony Pollard maybe he might be a free. I think he's a free agent. He's obviously been very good. They might maybe sign him, try to do a 1-2 punch like that, see how that works. But I don't think they'll re-sign Melvin Gordon, but we'll see. I mean, if you're the Broncos, you finish the season 7-10. Um, the Broncos are, in my opinion, a quarterback away or let me rephrase that, a good quarterback away, not even good, like above average quarterback from being a playoff team. I mean, the defense, yes, they traded away Von Miller, but they also got a first round pick in 2 years, which will come in handy. Um, right now, they really just need an edge rusher, which I don't think they go first round edge rusher, but we'll see. But I mean, it's looking right for them. They just got rid of Vic Fangio. Hopefully they can get a good coach. In my opinion, the Broncos are the most favorable team for a head coach to go to. They're in a position where they're ready to win right now. I mean, you really get carried by the run game, honestly. Like you don't even you could just, I don't think you stick with Drew Lock, but maybe stick with Teddy Bridgewater and just, what's it called? Just rely on your run game and your defense to win you games. And I mean, maybe you won't get far in playoffs, but you'll definitely be a playoff team.
I honestly think they would have made the playoffs if Teddy Bridgewater didn't get hurt.
Mm,
You
I don't know about
I think
that.
they went on a losing streak without him. Or
Okay, but here's the thing: they're in a tough division. They're in the toughest division in the NFL.
hmm.
You've got the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Raiders, who are all all four, every single team in that conference or that division is having a good year. The Chargers barely missed the playoffs. The Raiders made the playoffs. Chiefs made the playoffs. The Broncos finished 7-10, and I mean, that's really good, all things considered. I mean, the AFC North might be the second or only like rival, I guess you call it, but you know,
I would consider the NFC West, bro, hard.
yeah. Anyways, next we got the Cowboys at the Eagles. I mean, the Cowboys, they were fighting for this. What seed do they have now?
They have their NFC right.
I think they have this. No, they have the
Probably
third or
third.
fourth seed. I think they have the third seed. Who are they playing?
Oh no.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the Niners, so
Oh yeah, and the
Niners
Niners
have
have like
sixth,
the
I think.
yeah, the Niners have the sixth, so the Cowboys have the
They have
third,
this, yeah.
and then the Cardinals have the fifth, and the Rams have the fourth. Yeah, but I mean the Cowboys, they're able to win. They get the third seed. I mean NFC really. I mean, I don't think seeding really matters besides for home field advantage, but I mean, the Cowboys got to be happy with this win. I mean, the Eagles, they obviously benched all their starters because they weren't going to get any higher than what they were at the seventh seed. So they benched all their starters. Jalen Hurts didn't play. Jason Kelsey didn't play. None of their starters played. And obviously they were going to get blown out. But I mean, I got to give credit to the Eagles, man. I did not think that they were going to make the playoffs. I really did not I had no hope for them. But I mean, they turned it around. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, man.
Jalen Hurts is good.
Like with that Carson Wentz trade, I really did not think it was the right move.
Like if I'm an Eagles fan, I'm really happy right now because I mean, yeah, more than likely you're going to be first round exit, but I mean you're an underdog mentality. You're facing Brady, underdog mentality. I mean, everybody's betting against you. If you lose, no one expected you to win. If you win, then you're the heroes, and you have no pressure for the rest of the league. There's no expectations for 7 seeds or like lower seeds. There's no expectations for these teams, especially 7 seeds. The Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, no expectations put on them. They're both expected to crash and burn. But I mean, if you're the Eagles, even if you're a first round exit, you have 3 first round picks this year. And granted, all 3 of them are pretty late. I think they have like this 17 or this 17, like 16, 17 or 17, 18 or something like that. But I mean, still 3 first rounders. I mean, that's like, as long as they don't mess up their draft picks, then, watch out. I mean, they have their quarterback for the future, hopefully. I mean, let's just see what they do.
Hey,
hopefully they don't mess it up.
Draft picks, man.
Hopefully they don't mess it up. Maybe they could even trade up. I could see them trading up to get one of the top picks, top 10 picks.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them honestly trading up. Not out of the question, but let's just see what they do. Anyways, you got Bengals at the Browns, and I mean, Browns out of the playoffs. Baker didn't play. Case Keenum playing for the Browns. I mean, if you're a Browns fan, I mean, it just sucks. I mean, you go making the playoffs last year, you beat the Steelers, and then you almost beat the Chiefs, and then you go 8-9 the next year. I mean, what do you do if you're a Browns fan, or if you're Browns right now?
I mean,
do you stick with Baker or do you draft a new QB? Like, what do you do? Because Baker is not very good.
I think you gotta get a new wide receiver, man. Like,
yeah, that OBJ trade was not good. That was not good because they cut him, right? They didn't even trade him or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they cut him. They didn't even get anything from him. I still don't understand why they cut OBJ. That makes no sense to me.
Baker just also needs to I don't even know.
No, Baker wasn't good to begin with. Everybody just blamed Odell for underproducing, and they thought it was Odell's fault, but no, it was Baker's fault. Baker was the problem.
Mm.
Anyways, next we got Packers at the Lions. Dude, I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm on Ross St. Brown, rookie of the week. Got him in the fifth round steal. Arguably one of the best wide receivers in this draft class, behind Jamar Chase, obviously, but second best maybe. Who else was in this? What? Oh, Jalen Waddle. Third best, fourth best, top 5 definitely.
Mm.
But we got a steal in the fifth round. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Next year, let's see what we do in the draft. Even if I think he's either going to be our 1 or our 2 next year, based on how the offseason turns out, who we draft. But let's just see how it works out. I mean, I like Dan Campbell, man. A lot of trick plays. I watched the game. It was crazy. So many trick plays, and they actually worked. Like nothing to lose mentality. Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders both on social media called out the Lions and voiced their approval for our team, which means a lot as a Lions fan. You got 2 legends saying that they believe in the team and believe that they're going to be good in the future based on what happened this year.
Mm. I mean, all things considered, like I'm pretty sure the Lions only won 2 games last year. I think.
No, last year we won 4, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean,
with Patricia.
Some people may consider this like one of the better seasons I guess the Lions have had.
I think we did better than last year with a worse roster. And all our guys were on COVID or injured or whatever, and we had so many close games. All that,
I think if you guys beat the Ravens, man, like something could have been there, but for the Packers, Jordan Love came in like right after the first drive, I think, for them. I mean, I think they had an opportunity to tie the game up, but threw an interception. So, I mean, 2 years of sitting on the bench, I guess. I mean, not much to show.
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't a good decision to draft him.
Well, I mean, to be perfectly fair, he tore his ACL his rookie season, and he didn't play very well because we kind of forced him. I don't know why we put him in the corner 1 position straight off the bat. He's guarding the best receivers in the NFL. I get that he was a top. I didn't agree to draft a corner that high to begin with, and no matter how good he was, because like when you draft that high, you expect them to be somebody like Jalen Ramsey or something. Even like Patrick Surtain, he got drafted like what? What did he get drafted at?
He
got drafted pretty
8
high.
or 9, probably.
Yeah, he got drafted in top 10. I know that, but I mean Patrick Surtain. I mean he played well this season. He also didn't get injured, but like I think that if Okuda comes back and he's injury prone, but if he can come back and he can play healthy, then we're good. I mean we have Okuda, we have Oruwariye. Oruwariye is good corner. I think he didn't make the Pro Bowl, but he should have. He broke out this season. If Okuda can play good next season, and then whoever we draft, Thibodeau or Hutchinson, based on how the draft goes, I mean, we'll just see what happens. Packers, I mean, they benched Aaron Rodgers after the second half. He probably shouldn't have been playing to begin with, him or Devontae or any of their starters, but he wants those MVP padding stats. All of them want padding stats. I mean, if you're a Packers fan, like, yeah, you have this first seed and hopefully make this. I'm cheering for the Packers to make the Super Bowl, but if you don't and Aaron Rodgers decides not to stay, I mean, I feel like a lot of people forgot about the controversy that happened this offseason.
What was it again? Like
He didn't
Like
want to. He didn't
between
want
him
to.
and the between
Just him in the
go forward.
organization. He didn't want to. He didn't want to stay with the Green Bay. He didn't want to stay with Green Bay, and then he decided to stay. I mean, if he decides not to stay after the season, then I mean, it sucks. I mean, you have Devontae, and he's going to become a free agent after this year. So if Aaron Rodgers decides not to stay, Devontae is going to leave. I mean, you can franchise tag him for a year and hope and pray that he's going to stay, but I doubt that he would stay. And I mean, if they do end up franchise tagging him and they find that they can't come to a deal with him, I do see them maybe trading him, but they're not going to get much from him because he's only going to be on a 1-year deal. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, we got the Bears at the Vikings next. Both of these head coaches got fired. Both Nagy and Zimmer both got fired. You know, Zimmer at the end of the game, the reporters were asking about his future with the Bears. You know, he got angry, rightfully so, because he was going to get fired. You're a Vikings fan, man. I mean, it's only downhill from here. Bears, hopefully Justin Fields can be good next year, but he's not the root of your problem. The root of your problem is you have no offense. Khalil Mack was injured this entire year. You need a Roquan Smith. You have him, but you know, if you're the Bears, you need to fix your team.
I think a lot of people have like really high expectations for the Vikings this year. Just like had one of the best rookie receivers of all time, or not? Sorry, not like one of the best rookie receivers like in the modern NFL. And like with Dalvin Cook, their defense is not half bad. So I mean, in all reality, it should be competing with the Packers at that top spot in the NFC North. But they're just too consistent or inconsistent to win close games and all that.
Yeah. Next, we got Washington at the Giants. I mean, this was Joe Judge's last game. I think his fate was sealed after he did a QB sneak on 3rd and 9. I did not understand that at all. Antonio Gibson had a good game for the first time this season. 21 carries, 146 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, Washington, you got to be disappointed with the season. I mean, you got to compensate. What? How do you even say it? Compensatory. How do you say it?
Compensatory. I don't know.
Compensatory playoff spot last year because your division sucked. But you know, I mean, I feel like they kind of put their team on a pedestal, you know, and they ended up falling short of the playoffs. Chase Young obviously got injured. I mean, 7-10 is not a bad record, but you kind of hope that they would do better. Hopefully, they're better next year. Better offense. They need a better offense because their defense is good. Their defense is really good. Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Kyle Fuller. I think their offense should do better. I mean, yeah, they have Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, but O-line and Heineke is not the answer. Next game, Colts and Jaguars. Ben, talk about this one.
I mean, did you say you thought the Jaguars would win last week?
Yep, I predicted it. I had a feeling that something like this was going to happen.
I mean, what is it, like 5 straight games? The Colts have came into Jacksonville and lost or something? I mean, Jonathan Taylor, he really could not do anything. He did average 5 per carry, but man, Jacksonville, I mean, I guess they really wanted to win. It's like there was one play where Trevor Lawrence, he caught like a snap one hand or something, like just chucked it up to Marvin Jones in the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
I mean,
They played spoiler.
I think the entire NFL is just like, I don't know.
I don't know how the Colts won. That's crazy. It's so weird. Like that's crazy. How did they win?
It's just like so disappointing too that we can't see Taylor in the playoffs. And like,
Yeah.
who was there? Did they have a quarterback like Philip Rivers? Was it?
Carson Wentz, bro.
Philip
What?
Rivers probably
Carson Wentz. Philip Rivers retired. What are you talking about?
like last year. Sorry,
Last year it was Philip Rivers.
they did make the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but they were the 7th seed and they lost in the first round to the Titans, I think.
I think it might have been.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they lost in the first round to the Titans.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, but you downgraded your QB. I don't understand how they didn't make. They had so many games. Like they lost last week to the Raiders, and then how do you even lose to the Jaguars? I don't understand.
I don't know, man.
Like they're the worst team in the NFL. I don't understand how you choke. Their offense just got shut out. Dude, like Carson Wentz is so bad. And they don't even have a first round pick this year because they can't get a QB because they traded their first round pick for Carson Wentz. That was such a clown move by them. Why would you trade a first for
I
Carson Wentz?
mean, who are they gonna start? Sam Islander?
I don't know, but why would you trade a first? You could have traded a second and probably still got Wentz. They went way too high on Wentz.
I know like their head coach Frank Reich because he had
No,
like
because the Eagles,
connections
the
with
Eagles
him.
were. It's not like the Eagles were getting rid of their starter or anything. Like the Lions, they got rid of Matthews. Like, okay, in my personal opinion, I think we sold Stafford way too high. Like, yeah, for one first round pick, definitely, but two first round picks, and then I think we got another pick too. That's pretty good. But
No, the way like he completely changed the Rams offense, man.
yeah, I mean, but they just needed a good. They had all the weapons. They just needed an above average quarterback, and Jared Goff is not an amazing quarterback. But Carson Wentz, I mean, he was the backup QB. I mean, he was set up to be the backup QB um in Philadelphia, and they were able to get a first round pick for him, which is crazy to me. I mean, like they sold way too high on that. The Colts could have easily given like maybe a second or something, second and some additional picks for Wentz, but they decided to go high. And I mean, Eagles gladly snatched that deal up, and now the Colts are feeling the repercussions of that. I mean, they're stuck with Carson Wentz for next year, which sucks. I mean, who are you going to get at quarterback? You're going to have to deal with Carson Wentz for another season.
I mean, gotta figure out a way to work it out, man.
Okay.
Michael Pittman has emerged as like a really good.
But they have no weapons on offense, but besides Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor,
Okay,
their O line is
then draft
good.
like a tight end or something.
They
They
don't
might have
need a
like
tight
Mo
end.
Alley and
They don't need a tight end. They need another wide receiver because Pittman is not that good.
Ty has had his moments. I mean,
Yes, he's
Paris
had his
Campbell
moments, but he's
returned from
washed.
IR.
He's washed. Ty is washed. You need to draft a
What
wide
about Paris?
receiver.
They're like
No,
Desmond Patman.
they're all bad, bro. You need to draft a wide receiver or sign a wide receiver in the offseason. Michael Gallup's set to be a free agent. I think he could be good. You need to get more weapons. Like that's it. And your defense kind of sold against Jacksonville or whatever. Next game, Steelers at the Ravens. Oh my God, dude. This was so close. The Steelers barely won this game in overtime. The Ravens, disappointing season for them. I mean, they were 8-3, 8-3, and then they went on a 6-game losing streak after Lamar got injured. That sucks. But I mean, they weren't gonna make the playoffs to begin with.
I think. Yeah. Wait,
They
no.
needed
They could have
Jacksonville to
won,
win,
right?
which happened.
The Dolphins won. Oh, and the
Oh, the
Patriots didn't
Dolphins.
win that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Patriots needed to win the what's it called? The Jaguars needed to win, and they needed to win over Steelers to make the playoffs.
How did the Steelers even win this game?
They just got lucky in OT, and they somehow made the playoffs because the Colts suck. Anyways, next game it was Titans at Texans. Dude, this was crazy. I mean, the Titans got the top seed or the second seed, or no, they got the first seed. But like this is not a convincing win. I mean, you were up 21-0 at half, and then you almost choked it. To Davis Mills and Rex Burkhead and Danny Amendola. Like what? I mean, I mean, if you're the Titans, this is good for you. Derrick Henry was set to come back wild card week, but now he gets an extra week to rest and not re-injure his foot after his surgery. And now he's set to come back for the divisional game. And hopefully he can be as dominant as he was, and the Titans should have an easy way. I think the Titans are going to make it to the conference, to be honest.
I mean,
I agree.
like this is crazy that the Titans are the 1 seed. Like normally,
I don't think it's crazy.
obviously it's the Chiefs are like.
Well, if the Chiefs didn't have such a bad start to the season, then they would be the 1 seed for sure. But to be honest, the Chiefs are bringing all the momentum they've had from the last couple games into the playoffs, and the fact that they don't have to wait a week to play again, they can build on that momentum. I guess if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But in other news today, the Texans head coach was fired, which was crazy to me. What do you think about that?
I mean, it was just the interim head coach, right?
No, okay, he was technically the interim head coach, but he did good. He did good with the roster he had. I mean, you have a rookie quarterback, Davis Mills, that you took in the third or second round or something. Who your best offensive weapon is Brandon Cooks, who's not even that good. Rex Burkhead is your running back. And there's no one on your defense. You have nobody on your defense. I mean, in my opinion, they might even be more talent deficient than the Lions are. Because at least on the Lions, we have Swift and Hawk and all that.
I thought they had the leading tackle or something.
Yeah, that guy with 198 tackles or something. But that's just based on the scheme they have. But you really have no weapons on your team.
It's a 4-13 season. I know,
I mean, yeah, they went.
It's not gonna change.
No, but they went 4-13 with a rookie quarterback that got drafted in the second round. I mean, I don't know why they fired him. They should have given him another year, to be honest. And it's not like he did bad or anything. And I mean, I guess with all the top coaching prospects, I mean, the Dolphins fired Ryan Flores, which we'll get to, but I don't know. Anyways, next game, Saints and Falcons. Disappointing for the Saints to not make the playoffs. I mean, they won this game. They did everything they could. They just needed the Niners to lose to the Rams, but the Rams ended up winning.
Their offense, man, just
I mean,
the
Saints are a similar situation to the Broncos. They're one good quarterback away from being amazing again. I mean, Drew Brees. I mean, their team isn't any different from a couple years ago when they were Super Bowl contenders. The only difference is that Drew Brees isn't on their team anymore. And they're stuck. And if they kept Jameis, they would have made the playoffs for sure. 100%. They would have made the playoffs, but Jameis got injured, and then your Taysom Hill got injured, and then you got stuck with Ian Book. Trevor Siemian got injured. I mean, it just sucked. Anyways, next we got the Jets at the Bills. Bills clinched the AFC East with this win. I mean, I don't have anything to say. Josh Allen had a less than satisfactory game. I mean, the Bills, they've had a pretty rough season up to date. I mean, they were Super Bowl contenders at the beginning, and then they went to playoff hopefuls, and now they're back in the playoff race or strong in it. But I don't know how far they're gonna get. They're really been inconsistent. When they've been good, they've been good, but when they've been bad, they've been bad.
Mm. I mean, they can get the run game going, man. Devin Singletary has kind of emerged in these past few weeks, so I mean, Josh Allen really has low key carried them, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Anyways, next game we got Niners at the Rams. You want to talk about this one? You got the NFC West.
I mean, man, Debo Samuel is too good, man. Just like in overtime, it's made this. Or was it not in overtime, but like the clock was winding down. It just Jimmy G, man, just made this great throw, and I don't even know what to say. The Niners come out with a win over Matt Stafford, the Rams, but really it was honesty. In all honesty, Matthew Stafford did not have that good of a game. I mean, he did the game. It was an interception. I don't know. The Rams is not really a good way to end out the season, even though they did in the NFC West with some help from the Seahawks. But I mean, the run game got completely destroyed by the Niners defense. Sony Michel and 2 yards of carry. So
Next game we got the Patriots, the Dolphins. You got anything to say about this before I start talking about the terrible decision they just made?
I mean, Patriots, they needed to win this, I think, to have a chance at winning the division. Just came up short. Mac Jones has not been that good in the past few weeks, and I think they play the Bills in the wild card, so it's gonna be a tough game. The Dolphins 9-8. I mean, yeah. Go ahead, talk about recent firing of Brian Flores.
Okay. The Dolphins are the most trash organization I've ever seen in my entire life. I honestly do not understand what is going on through their heads. Like why would you fire Brian Flores? I don't understand. Like yes, you had a bad start to the season, and if you were gonna fire him, why would you not fire him then and there when you were like one and whatever? What were they? I don't know, something crazy. Like one in I don't even know, 1-7 or something. And then they went on the win streak. But why would you wait until the end of your win streak to fire him? I mean, he brought the team back. He used like Jalen Waddle is good. He turned two around. Their defense was good. I don't understand why you fire him. Like I really don't.
There are rumors about quote unquote organizational strife. I don't know what that means, but clearly something happening behind the scenes. I mean, I don't. Yeah, you can't fire a coach on like a winning season. But I mean, the Dolphins didn't they get like they were close to playoff spot last year too, right?
What'd you say?
Dolphins were close to like playoffs last year too, and they like barely missed it.
Yeah, they barely missed the postseason last year. Yeah, I think they barely missed it last year, and then they barely missed it this year. I mean, his record I saw this infographic. It was like he's like 9. It was like he had the same record as Adam Gase or something. But I mean, you look at his first season, he was like 5 and something, and then he gets 2 winning seasons in a row. I mean, I don't know why you fired him.
Me neither.
Anyways, next game we got the Seahawks at the Cardinals. Seahawks fan Ben.
Yes, sir. Russ back to his old ways, man. Like, there's no reason to trade him. I don't see any reason now. Dude, Rashad Penny, like, he's gone from a draft class to like the U running back 1. So next year,
Rashad
there's high
Penny.
hopes for his team, man. Like, in all honesty, Seahawks. If Russ hadn't gotten injured, bro, like this is honestly like a 10-7 season. All 4 teams from the NFC West could have made the playoffs. Think about that. Like, they almost beat the Titans. That was probably the worst loss of the season. Like, losing to the Titans. But this team, man, it's gonna be good next year.
We'll
The
see.
Cardinals,
We'll
they
see.
choked, bro. They choked the NFC West
What'd you
division
say?
title. The Cardinals choked division title.
Okay, next. Panthers at the Buccaneers. I mean, Tom Brady destroyed the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers, they've been in a bad situation all year. No quarterback. I mean, they started the season looking like playoff contenders, and then Sam Darnold plateaued. Tried the Cam Newton experiment. I mean, that didn't work, and then they were just stuck without a quarterback and brought back Sam Darnold for this game, right?
Mm.
Yeah, and then he got destroyed. I mean, the Panthers are in a similar situation to the Eagles. They traded for Sam. They traded for Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they gave a 2nd-round pick, which is what the Colts should have done, because the Panthers, they still have their first. Wait, do they? I'm gonna look this up here. You talk about it for a second. I'm gonna look it up quickly.
The Bucks. No Godwin. No AB going in the playoffs. So I mean, that's kind of not that great for the defending champs, but clearly the offense can get it going in the later stages of the game.
Oh yeah. They have a 1st-round pick.
Mm.
Yeah, but I don't like. I do not. It's just bad for the Panthers. I mean, they're probably going to trade CMC this off. They were talking about trading CMC this offseason. Do you think that makes sense for them?
I mean, been pretty disappointing the past 2 years. So I mean, if you can get some good draft capital, I think that's a solid move.
Anyways, next we got the Chargers at the Raiders. Dude, this was crazy. I mean, Chargers down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. Justin Herbert absolutely slinging it. Last play of the game, I was watching the game. Last play of the game, absolutely slings it into the end zone. Ties up the game. I thought it was going to be tie, and I mean, I would have been fine with the tie. That would have actually been like, I think that would have been better than the Raiders winning. But Brandon Staley took that timeout for whatever reason. He said, "I want to get our defense into a run set. run formation, whatever. And then they gave up 9 yards on a run play, which I do not understand. And then obviously game-winning field goal by Daniel Carlson. I mean, the Raiders out of the playoffs, Raiders in with the 6th seed, 5th seed or 6th seed? I don't remember. I think it's
I don't
6th
know.
seed. I think it's no, yeah, it is 6th seed. But I mean, yeah, Raiders playing the Bengals in playoffs now. Anything to say about this game?
Hey, I called the game in the field goal, man. I called it. But Herbert throwing 64 times. What in the world?
Well, he went into overtime and he was carrying that team with his arm, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, that last drive with like no time left. That's crazy.
I mean, if you're Chargers, you got to be happy with Justin Herbert. I mean, star quarterback. Sad that you missed playoffs. Anyways, let's get into wild card week. First game, we got the Bengals at the Raiders, or Raiders at the Bengals. Who you got?
I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think the Bengals offense has the edge in this one.
Yeah, definitely. Who you think?
So, I mean, that being said, I think the Bengals win.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Raiders on this one.
All right.
I am.
Alright.
I think that Derek Carr, he's gonna have a good game. Okay, but here's the thing about the Bengals. They have been pretty inconsistent. Like as a past few games, they've been pretty good. But I mean, Derek Carr and the Raiders, they just came off a pretty good win. They're feeling good about themselves after beating the Chargers in overtime. They got the momentum. Bengals on the other hand, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, all of them, they sat that last game. They haven't played in a week. They haven't played a football game in a week. I mean, I think that's going to affect how they play. I think they're going to not be in rhythm out there. I think the Raiders are going to win.
All right.
Next game, we got the Patriots at the Bills. Who you got?
These two teams, AFC East rivals, they did split their games in the regular season. So, I mean, it's in Buffalo. But I'm gonna take the Patriots, man. I think the run game. I know the defense isn't that like great, but
Yeah,
get that run game going, man.
I agree with you. I mean, Bill Belichick, great head coach. Mac Jones hasn't been playing very good, but I think Belichick's a good enough coach where he can plan around that. I mean, I think last time that the Patriots played in Buffalo, they beat them. Obviously, Mac Jones didn't throw it all. Entirely relied on the run game. It's going to be a cold one. It's like 0 degrees. We'll just see how it works out, but I think it's going to be a good game. I think the Patriots are going to win. I mean, Belichick's too good to lose. Next, we got the Eagles at the Bucks. Who you got?
I mean, it's the Buccaneers, man.
Yeah,
Offense is like unstoppable, pretty much.
yeah. I mean, it's Tom
Defense is
Brady. It's Tom Brady. I mean, you don't bet against Tom Brady.
the Eagles' defense, man. I don't think they can do anything.
Exactly. I mean, it's going to be a shootout, and the Bucks defense is good too. It's not like the Bucks are a one-dimensional team. They have a good defense. They have a top 10 defense, and then they have a top 10 offense. I mean, dual threat. Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, Godwin. You don't have AB anymore, but I mean, that's fine. You got Brady. It's going to be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we got the Niners at the Cowboys. Who you got?
I got the Niners, man.
I gotta
I know
agree with
Jimmy
you.
G's not that like consistent, but
I'm gonna agree with you. I mean, the Cowboys, they've also been pretty inconsistent this year. Sometimes they've looked unstoppable, and other times they've looked like the worst team in football or in NFL. Oh, the NFL. I think it's going to be one of those games where they're super inconsistent. I think the 49ers are just going to take advantage of that. I mean, obviously, yeah, you're playing in Arlington, but I mean, if the Niners or if the Cowboys can't get consistent, then they're going to lose. And, you know, next we got the Steelers at the Chiefs. Who you got?
Man,
Okay.
bro. I'm actually taking Steelers.
I'm taking the Steelers too. It's Big Ben's last ride. I mean, I think he's going to be playing with like a chip on his shoulder, you know, to do good. I mean, he talked about in the interview is like no one's expecting anything out of us. Like I said earlier, underdog mentality. But here's the thing about the Steelers. Like, yes, the Chiefs defense has stepped it up. But I think that if you're the Steelers, if your defense can step it up and stop Mahomes and company from scoring, I mean, really, you just need to rely on your pass rush. You need T.J. Watt, Cameron Hayward to do something, and then because their corners aren't very good. Yeah, they have Joe Hayden, Minka Fitzpatrick, I guess, but Devin Bush, Terrell Edmonds, Elson second, they're not very good. I think you need to focus on pass rush, put Mahomes under pressure, make sure he doesn't have enough time, make him throw one of those crazy passes. But you know, I don't know why I think the Steelers are going to win, but I just think they're going to win.
If Najee, bro.
And then on the offensive side of the ball, just rely on Najee. Like honestly, just burn as much clock as possible. Throw short out routes. Like Ben, he doesn't have a good arm. Like I hate to say it, but like just watching him for the entire season, he does not have a good arm. Throw short out routes. Get Najee to just run inside zones, Najee, see if you can get yards, just burn clock. That's what you got to do. Okay, next we got the Cardinals at the Rams. Who you taking?
Man, I really wish we didn't have like another one of these NFC West matchups like last year.
Yeah.
Because both these teams are like incredibly
yeah.
good, and like, but I honestly, I know you want to see Matt Stafford win. I mean, it's a tough decision, man. I'll go with the Rams because Matt Stafford.
Rams. I'm also taking the Rams in this one. I mean, I want Matt Stafford is gonna go to the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford is going to the Super Bowl. You can record that, write it down, take my word for it. Stafford's going to the Super Bowl. He's winning a ring. It's happening. I don't even care if we get the 32nd pick. I want Stafford to win a Super Bowl. I don't care if we get the 32nd pick. I want Stafford to win the Super Bowl. Okay. Anything else to add before we end for this week?
Looks like Pete Carroll's staying, man.
What'd you say?
What?
What'd you say?
Pete Carroll's staying, man.
Kyle
He's not
Sanders.
leaving. Pete Carroll.
Oh, fire Pete Carroll. Yeah. Yep. Fire him.
Reason why I mean,
Trade Russ to the Denver Broncos and get some first round picks. Trade Russ to the Denver Broncos for 2 first-round picks. And then trade DK to the Lions or something and get another first-round pick. Go full rebuild. Get rid of Pete Carroll. All right. Well, this has been Football Fever. Next week we'll be talking about the recap of wildcard round, talking about the divisional round, and MVP race. Until then, this has been Arav.
and
And we'll see you next time.
Adios.
Peace.